نسألك يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina astafa amma ba'd. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Habibina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Alhamdulillah, Ramadan is over. We should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost for this beautiful opportunity that He has given to all of us, that we were able to fast in this Ramadan. We were able to do tilawat of the Quran in this Ramadan. We were able to give charity in Ramadan. We were able to help others in Ramadan. And more than all of that, we were able to work on ourselves in Ramadan. Ramadan was about us. Ramadan was about our relationship with Allah. Ramadan was about our self-development. Ramadan was about attaining taqwa. That is what we have been talking about all throughout Ramadan in these sessions that we had, that Ramadan is about taqwa, Ramadan is about self-control. And hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, all of us have worked on ourselves and have been able to achieve taqwa. We beg Allah ta'ala to accept all what we have done. We are not hopeless. We could not do enough, indeed. We can never do enough. We tried, and now we have all hopes in the mercy of Allah ta'ala that He will inshallah accept it. Just remember that this night between the last day of Ramadan and Eid is called Laylatul Jaizah. It's a night of reward. It's a night where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards His slaves, His people, for all what they have done in Ramadan. We make sure that we do not miss out on this opportunity as well. It is not the night that we go out in the markets. It is not the night to just hang out and waste time. It is a night of now begging Allah Ta'ala for the compensation, what we have done for His sake with His tawfiq. It's a night of a few rakahs. It's a night of raising our hands and begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that we are in need of, for this dunya, for akhirat, all what we are in need of ourselves, all what we are in need of for our children, our families, our parents, and others around us. And of course, we should also remember the whole ummah, and I would say the whole humanity in our du'as, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to look at the purpose of life, and may Allah ta'ala allow us to make an effort to achieve that purpose, that goal of life. And also, of course, at the very same time, we also beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He removes this pandemic that has been spread, and that it has come, we have repeatedly said, it's come because of our own shortfalls, our own shortcomings, that disconnection that we had with Allah ta'ala, the oppression that we were having on individual levels and on collective levels. We must beg Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness, and we should do tawbah and revive ourselves, inshallah Ta'ala, and then make dua that Allah Ta'ala removes that from all of us. And inshallah, we have a lot of hope that things will become better, inshallah, very soon. So, alhamdulillah. But now that the Ramadan is over, we need to also remind ourselves that Ramadan is gone, but the Lord of Ramadan is not gone. Ramadan is over, but the Rabb of Ramadan is not going anywhere. We did not worship Ramadan, we worshipped the Rabb of Ramadan. We worshipped the Lord of Ramadan, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was just an exercise. This was just a practice that Allah ta'ala force us to do. It was an exercise of self-control. We were forced to not eat, not drink, not having marital relations from Fajr to Maghrib. That was an exercise to learn self-control, as I've been talking about throughout Ramadan. Now is the time to implement that self-control. Now is the time that we use that energy, the spiritual energy that we have gained throughout these 30 days, so that to use it the next 11 months. This is now what we are supposed to be doing. And one thing as well, that we have charged our spiritual batteries. We make sure that we just don't drain it in a day. We have to maintain that charge, use it wisely. How can we maintain that? By making sure that we have a spiritual heart. We make sure that we are not putting holes in that spiritual heart, so that all the energy that we have accumulated through Ramadan, it just drains out. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Quran that on the day of judgment, there's only one thing that will benefit you. Allah ta'ala said, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. That on the day of judgment, your wealth will not benefit you. On the day of judgment, your children will not benefit you. The only thing that will benefit people on the day of judgment is who comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a sound heart. Man atallaha bi qalbin salim, with a sound heart. Which heart? Spiritual heart. Just like we have a physical heart, our bodies are run through the physical heart. If the heart stops, the body dies. Likewise, the ruh within is running on that spiritual heart. If the spiritual heart dies, then the ruh dies. It may be that people are walking around but with a dead ruh. They don't have any spirituality. And with no spirituality, people are depressed, people are anxious, people are panicked, people don't know what are they doing with their life. They're just walking random. They're like literally robots. They don't know what's the purpose. They don't have emotions. They don't care for others. They don't have the feeling of love and care and concern for others. They become selfish people. This happens when people lose their spirituality. With spirituality, they connect to Allah Ta'ala. They pray to Allah Ta'ala. They make dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. They enjoy every single moment of their ibadat. When they stand in front of Allah, they develop that connection and bonding with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. They feel it. When they put their head in sajda on the ground, they feel it. When they bow down in ruku in front of Allah, they feel it. When they recite Quran and when they recite every single letter of Quran, they feel it. They cry in front of Allah Ta'ala. They have tears that come down when they talk about Allah, when they make dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. This is when spirituality is alive. And also, as I said, that they have connection with Allah and they have concern and care for people. They have love. They're not selfish. They care for others. They have concern for others. They have love for others. There's no place of hatred in that sound heart. There's no place of ill feelings. There's no place for deceiving others. They don't cheat others because they don't want to deceive others, because they care for others and they're not selfish. Rather, they will do exactly the opposite. They will possibly let go of their personal benefits because others can be benefited. That's when spirituality is alive. They don't do corruption. They don't lie. They don't backbite. They don't hurt others. They don't look down upon others. They have no arrogance. They're humble people. They might have a lot of wealth with them, but still they're humble. The way that they walk and the way that they talk is with humility. They have akhlaq, they have character, they are soft-spoken, their tongues are sweet, they're ready to forgive others. They don't want to hold people for small little petty things. They let go of that. They have a smile. They meet people with a smile. They have good opinion about others. They give people benefit of doubt. They don't have jealousy. They don't have love of dunya. They have love of akhirat. Their time and their energy is spent in achieving the akhirat, because they know this is very temporary world. And all of us are going to go back to Allah. We are going to pass away very soon, sooner rather than later. This is when spirituality is alive. Right? So our ruh has a heart, spiritual heart. In order to keep that heart sound, and as I said in that ayat of the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. On the day of judgment, wealth will not benefit. Children will not benefit. Only thing that will benefit is the soundness of the spiritual heart. We need to keep that spiritual heart sound. What to do? First thing first, give it nourishment. Just like a body needs nourishment, the ruh needs nourishment. There's some special nourishment for the ruh which we could have ignored, but Allah Ta'ala has done a favor on us that He has said, you know what, this is mandatory, this is fard. 5 daily prayers is fard, it's mandatory, so that you don't miss out on giving that nourishment to your ruh. Because if you miss one prayer, your ruh will feel lethargic. One prayer a day. Allah Ta'ala said it's mandatory because this is the nourishment for your ruh. 5 prayers at their times. Just like we take breakfast at breakfast time, lunch at lunch time, dinner at dinner time. Likewise, Fajr at Fajr time, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha at their times. Fasting the month of Ramadan that we have just passed was a necessary nourishment for that ruh and that spiritual heart. Giving zakat, going for Hajj, they're necessary elements, necessary nourishment. And reciting Quran, all the things that attract the mercy of Allah, helping others, caring for others, loving others, right? They're all nourishment for the ruh and the spiritual heart. So number 1, give ruh its nourishment. Do all of these things, do all good actions. Removing harm from the road. As simple as that. What do? We block roads. When there is a wedding, we block the roads. When there's a funeral, we block the roads. Right? We're doing exactly the opposite. Right? Removing harm from the road. Meeting your brother with a smile. Asking him as to how is he doing. If he's sick, going and visiting him and asking him how is he doing, making dua for him, encouraging him. This is all the nourishment for the ruh. Right? So give ruh its nourishment. That's number 1. 2, don't poison it. Don't poison it. What are the poison? Poison are every single disobedience of Allah. It's the poison for the spiritual heart. Give it nourishment, good actions, from the faraid, from the rituals, from the ibadat, to doing good to others. Don't poison it. Don't have hatred in it. It's a poison. Don't have jealousy. Don't have arrogance. Don't have ill feelings. They're all poisons. All the immodest things that we look with our eyes is a poison. These eyes, this tongue, these ears, they're the avenues to the spiritual heart. When we look at immodesty, it's a poison going all the way to the spiritual heart. When we listen to anything wrong, it's a poison that goes all the way to the spiritual heart. When we say anything wrong, lie, backbite, immodest talk, indecent talk, right? Making fun of others, etc. And we've spoken in detail about that in these sessions. It's a poison that goes into the spiritual heart. Don't poison it, please. Don't poison it. If you want to look at it in another way, right, as I've started, that it is like making holes. So we fill it up with its nourishment, right? All the things that we need for the spiritual heart, we fill it up with that. We nourish it, but then we put holes. Either you can understand it from what I've just said, that poisoning it, or it can also be understood in the other way, that it's putting holes in it. Don't put holes. These are putting holes. All the wrongs that I've mentioned, they're putting holes in the spiritual heart. the all the good things that we fill our spiritual heart with, it will just drain out. It'll just go. The example that I gave right at the start, in Ramadan, we did all of these good actions. It was like charging our spiritual battery. By putting these holes, we'll just discharge it so quickly. So now that we have accumulated all of these good things in our spiritual heart, that mercy of Allah, that light, that nur, we have charged it fully. Now our job is to try to maintain this charge throughout the year. It will get discharged slowly, gradually. That's the nature of it. But we don't want to discharge it tomorrow. We wanted to take it to next Ramadan, inshallah. And when next Ramadan will come, inshallah ta'ala, and if we are alive by that time, inshallah, then we'll charge it again. And that's the nature of life. That's why it has been made for 5 daily prayers, daily nourishment, and this Ramadan is like that supercharge, that super boost. It's like energy drink, right? So now our job, people, is that we maintain it. All the things that we've spoken about in this Ramadan, in these sessions, make sure that we do all of that. Let's develop our character, right? Let's control our eyes, control our tongue, control our ears, control our desires, control our feelings. Inshallah, learn more and implement that, and make sure that all those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has disallowed, we make sure that we don't do any of those, inshallah, right? We are not going to create any hole in our spiritual heart, inshallah. We're going to maintain this energy until next Ramadan. And this is the commitment that we must take when we leave Ramadan. And for these people who leave Ramadan with this commitment, then Eid is their day of happiness. It's a day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy, and He gives them reward for all what they have done in Ramadan and the commitment that they've made for the coming months. Allah ta'ala becomes happy with these people. Eid is a day of happiness for these. The true Eid, the true day of happiness is for these people. Allah ta'ala is so happy. He says it's haram to fast on the day of Eid. You cannot fast today, because this is a day when I am inviting you for a meal. Eat, drink, enjoy. Make sure within the limits of Shariat and Sunnah. It's a day of happiness. Show happiness. Exchange gifts. Be happy. Have a smile on your face. Go for Eid prayers. There's extra takbirat in the Eid prayers when we say Allahu Akbar. It is as if we are saying thank you. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, Ya Allah. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, Ya Allah. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, Ya Allah, for the blessings, those spiritual blessings you gave me in Ramadan. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is what Eid is. But that is how we should end Ramadan, with a commitment to preserve that spiritual energy, inshallah, to keep our hearts sound, because the soundness of the heart will be the only thing that will help us on the day of judgment. Nothing else, people, nothing else. And the struggle remains throughout our life until that we meet with our Rabb, inshallah. And last thing, but not the least, when we celebrate Eid, when we are happy, don't forget those people around you who are in need as well. Don't forget them. Feed them. Care for them. Also ask about them. Ask about their children. Have a smile and go and talk to those kids on the streets who are in need. That's why our deen has said that it is mandatory to give sadaqatul fitr, which ideally should be given on the day of Eid to these people as an Eid gift for them, so that they become happy and give with generosity. We shouldn't be counting, what is sadaqatul fitr? Is it 10 rupees or 12 rupees? Come on. If you can afford, give 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. We want to share our happiness with them, and we want to share their happiness with us. We want to make them happy. We want them to have a smile on this day. Because the day of happiness, by Allah. And what a happiness will that be? The true happiness. When we are happy, because Allah Ta'ala has given us this blessing of Ramadan. And also, this happiness will be doubled when we see others happy. So please take care of them. Love them, care for them, spend on them. Don't be selfish. And that is what our deen is about. That's the soundness of the heart. That is what Ramadan came for, to teach us taqwa. May Allah Ta'ala make us true people of taqwa. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala allow us to preserve this spirituality, this spiritual charge that we got in Ramadan, and take it to the rest of the months and be able to benefit from that charge and continue to make that effort that we have been making in Ramadan. We must not let go of that effort that we made in Ramadan. Let's make an effort every day. We don't know which day will be our last day, right? That's with Allah. Allah Ta'ala knows that there'll be a day when Allah Ta'ala will call us back. We don't want to go back to Allah in a state that we are not making that effort. We're not preparing for that journey to Allah. So let's inshallah continue the same passion, same zeal, same energy, inshallah, outside. Eid Mubarak to all of you. May Allah Ta'ala bless your Eid. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make it the source of true happiness for all of you and for all of us, inshallah. And believe me, the true happiness will be when we will meet with Allah, and Allah Ta'ala will say, "Oh my people, I'm happy with you. Job well done. Life well lived. I'm happy with you." And that will be true happiness. That will be the true day of Eid. May Allah Ta'ala give us the true day of Eid as well, inshallah. Please remember me in your du'as, and my family and my parents, and may Allah Ta'ala preserve you all. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير.